Hi there! This video is sponsored by Keeping It Real Industries, the only way to cost-effectively keep it real.
Hello everybody! Today's video is going to be about sponsored or branded content that at YouTube we call paid product placements and endorsements. Now this can be a great way for creators to earn more revenue and diversify their income. And we're seeing a lot more creators engaging in these commercial relationships. That being said, it tends to be quite a complex area, especially with respect to our policies. So today's video is going to be a bit of a do's and don'ts. Hello everybody, welcome to Creator Insider. This is your informal source from the YouTube tech team, giving you all the behind the scenes information about what's going on at YouTube. My name is Barbara.
My name's Connor. I'm on the ads policy team.
We've got two quick things right off the bat that we want to make sure that we get across to you.
Okay, number one is to make sure when you upload the video that you go into advanced settings, and if you have a paid product placement or endorsement, that you tick the box that says content declaration. That's a signal to us that you know the policies really well. Make sure that you're alerting us to the fact that there's paid product placement in the video itself.
Okay, that's number one. Number two?
Number two is to make sure that you read Google's ad policies. So that's to make sure that the advertiser themselves isn't trying to circumnavigate our systems and put a disallowed ad within the content itself. You can find a link in the description which goes through all of our rules and some helpful tips as to what to avoid.
Let's dive into formats, sponsored formats. So, hey YouTube, I have a brand who I really want to work with. How can I incorporate their information into my videos? What is allowed?
You can say they sponsor the video. So anything from a little speech about it to a quick shout out to Barbara's Cosmetics, the only way to get that perfect complexion. An awful lot of advertisers as well ask YouTubers to feature their logo for a couple of seconds in the corner of a video. That's allowed as well. Those are the types of formats that we do allow.
Okay. And so what formats do we not allow?
Yeah, so this is where we come into embedded ads, or what we call burned in ad. To get into the detail of that, what the advertiser will do is say, hey, I'll sponsor your content. Here is a commercial. Put it into the video itself. That's something that we don't allow.
Okay, and so for me as a viewer, that would just look like, hey, I'm watching somebody's video, and then in the middle of their video, it like switches over to an ad.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Can you break down why this type of format is not allowed?
Sure. So Google on YouTube provides a number of different options for ad formats, and that's to ensure that the viewer experience is as seamless as possible. What we're seeing is burned in ads, again, disallowed, coming through in content, and that's bad for two reasons. Number one, it's a disallowed format. We provide all the formats that are allowed. And number two, it's a really crummy user experience for your viewers to be watching your fabulous content and then have a break in it where they see a burned in ad that they didn't sign up for.
That covers formats that are and are not allowed. Now let's talk about the sponsors themselves. So there are all sorts of brand sponsors out there who would be fantastic for you to work with and make awesome content about. The more interesting part, and the real reason you're here, is to talk about brands and sponsors who are prohibited. So, yeah, you have mentioned that there's like 5 or so top categories that you have been seeing. Let's break those down.
Yeah, so the types of industries that we're seeing brands approach creators from are alcohol, gambling, tobacco, misleading products or products that make misleading claims, as well as sexually explicit brands, so websites that would feature racy or adult themes.
Okay, you mentioned one fourth in there. Products that make misleading claims. Let's dive into an example. What's that?
Sure. So the long and the short of that is a product that makes a claim that's simply too good to be true. So something that isn't scientifically proven, something for which there is no evidence. So an example of that would be, come take diet pills. You're gonna lose all the weight you want within 48 hours. That's just very
magic.
I would love this.
So what would happen if I were to do a paid product placement with a brand that falls into one of these categories?
So it's one of the worst things that can happen for a creator that has put an awful lot of time, effort, and money into creating great content. We're going to remove it. We're removing more and more content every day in relation to these 5 industries alone that are approaching creators and trying to maintain these sponsorship arrangements with them.
Okay, so my videos would get removed from the platform.
Removed.
There. Okay. So what should I do if I am approached by a brand and I'm not sure if they are or are not allowed on YouTube?
Okay, so you're going to bookmark the link that you'll find in the description outlining Google's ad policies. Secondly, you're going to take a quick scan through those Google ad policies and make sure that the advertiser doesn't fall into one of those industries, which I've outlined and which is explained in a lot more detail on that support page.
Yep.
And the third thing that you're going to do is, if you're a little bit unsure, err on the side of caution. It's really not worth it to have your content removed. It's not something that we want, but we will do it if we see these types of sponsorships.
Okay, so be cautious if you don't know.
Exactly.
We've been hearing tales that some of these prohibited sponsors have been reaching out to creators and saying like, hey, don't worry about it. I'm totally good. Look at all of these other videos that happen to feature our brand. So don't worry about it. It's totally fine. If creators get approached with this type of information, are they safe because there are all these other videos out there?
No, Barbara, they're definitely not safe. So Google and YouTube are working every day to make sure that bad advertisers or prohibited advertisers are simply not allowed to engage with Google's users, aka all of your viewers. What we have to ensure in this instance is that you err on the side of caution. The fact that there are other creators out there with these sponsorship arrangements isn't an indication that the advertisers are allowed to sponsor this content. It's an indication that we are going to have to work hard to make sure that they're removed.
Short and sweet video, wanted to get it straight to the point, and we do want to reiterate, if you are accepting a brand sponsorship deal, please do, when you upload your video, go into advanced settings and tick that little checkbox that says content declaration. This is a paid product placement and endorsement. It is super critical for you to do that, so don't forget. This has been Creator Insider. We are your informal source for behind the scenes information about what's going on from the YouTube tech team directly. If you'd like to check out YouTube's official channels, please check out the links in our descriptions down below.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave as many comments as you want. We're going to be updating the Help Center for paid product placements and endorsements, so all the feedback we can get is really valued.
Bye!
Ciao!